Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I'm going to rank the value of all 8 of the existing legendary battles in terms of most valuable to least valuable, considering the investment that you're going to make in purchasing the extreme pack and in getting the uniforms to mythic or heroic or legendary, getting the characters to rank, tier 2 or tier 3, getting their enhancements, etc. Whatever the requirements are, because all of the legendary battles have different requirements. Considering the requirements, considering the legendary battle cost, and then considering what you get. And there's going to be some consideration, but basically zero consideration for the difficulty of these legendary battles, because generally speaking, they are not difficult at all. There is a little weird thing with the Spider-Man mission Far From Home where you have to do something with Sandman 15 times or whatever. That one just takes a few attempts, and the Ant-Man and the Wasp one takes a few attempts as well if you don't have Ghost. But they can all be done without heavy investment into the paywall characters for the specific tasks to get those specific items unlocked. So I'm not going to be I'm going to consider whether you purchase all of the characters. You get Killmonger, you get Ghost, you get Wasp, all that stuff. But mostly it's going to be based on the cost and, of course, the other investments. And then the big one is, of course, the rewards. Now, number 1, I'm going to spoil number 1 for you guys, and then we're going to work backwards from 8 to 2. Number 1 is Thor Ragnarok. Number 1 is Thor Ragnarok because Thor Ragnarok is free. You don't have to pay for a legendary battle. There is no legendary battle. I wish they would do this one again. It's been, almost 3 years. And yeah, it's free. The rewards aren't free here, but they're really easy to get. I mean, getting this uniform to heroic to get an amazing premium card, yeah. You should be focusing on getting as many of these as you can pretty early on, especially the comic cards. These will really set you up to succeed in the game long term as a new player and as a free-to-play / low-spending player. It's 3 uniforms, it's 3,000 crystals, but in return you get 2 solid premium cards. Like I said, this one is actually very, very good. A lot of endgame players still use this card, and then this one gives you a CTP of energy, and a CTP of energy is damn good. So yeah, there's no doubt in my mind this is the best legendary battle, but you're obviously talking about the ones that you spend crystals for, 2,500, or in Black Panther's case, 3,300 crystals to purchase. Now, before we get into the worst to best list, or the least valuable to most valuable, from 8 to 2, I will give you one more piece of advice, and that is to try and wait, especially if you're going to be buying multiple legendary battles. This advice is not as good for just one legendary battle, but if you're going to be buying multiple legendary battles, or if you're going to be buying, let's say, a legendary battle and an epic quest, deluxe pack or something like that, wait for a crystal spending event, because you will spend the crystals and then you'll get back 500 or 600 crystals depending on which one you purchase, and that refund you can then spend again and it won't get deducted from your spent amount in the crystal spending event. So for example, if you spend 5,000 crystals and then that event or whatever thing that you spent 5,000 for gives you back 2,000, you can then spend that 2,000 and the game will calculate that you've spent 7,000 even though you've really only spent the 5,000. So yeah, with that in mind, let's start off with number 8, aka the least valuable legendary battle, and it is of course the Black Panther legendary battle. The primary reason why this is not a very valuable legendary battle is because it costs more. It costs 800 crystals more, and you only get 100 extra crystals back. So you spend 3,300, but you only get back 600. Now that's not a huge difference, but if you couple that with the fact that you the primary benefit of buying it is the tier 2 selector is nice, or the tier 2 ticket I should say, and having his uniform at legendary is nice because it means you automatically unlock this card. This card is not as good as the Loki card, so keep that in mind. But basically the problem is that the rest of these rewards are not good. They are 6-star obelisks and 6-star cards, and then the only other good reward requires you to get a paywall uniform to heroic. Now if you don't have uniform rank up tickets, you basically have to pay more real money, or you have to throw away a mega mythic uniform upgrade ticket just to get a CTP of energy. So I basically count this reward as negative synergy, because you have to spend 3,000 crystals and then pay $10 and then wait a while and pay 1,000 crystals. So it's actually a lot of spending that you have to do just for a CTP of energy. So I don't really like this reward at all. You're basically just buying it because for 3,300 crystals, you immediately unlock a premium card without doing anything else, because you get his uniform at legendary by default. But I don't really like this legendary battle in general, because the rest of the rewards are bad besides the CTP of energy. And then, like I said, the CTP of energy itself is actually very expensive to rank up, so it just puts you in another conundrum altogether, or you have to spend valuable resources, multiple uniform rank up tickets from normal to heroic, or you have to spend the always coveted mega mythic uniform rank up ticket. Coming in at number 7, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by this one, but I think it's the brand new Black Widow update legendary battle. And the reason why I'm choosing this one is the rewards, although they are good, and I would say that the rewards for this legendary battle are actually quite commensurate to the effort involved, meaning it's not like Killmonger, right? You're getting a free-to-play uniform to Legendary to get a CTP of Insight. That's much better. That's equal value for the investment. The problem is that, although that is equal value, a lot of the investments are insanely expensive. So, for example, getting Red Guardian's Potential Awakened is a very steep price to pay. It's a very good reward that you get. You get to take any non-native Tier 2 character from level 60 to level 70 automatically. You save like minimum 10 million gold. You would save like 5,000 black antimatter. Like, it's a really good item. But you have to spend 1,000 Mandalay gem fragments, and you have to spend 350 awakening stones, and you have to get him to level 70. There's a lot involved in awakening. So, and you also have the problem of other characters competing for awakening, like Mystique, you know, Professor Superior Octopus, even the Warriors of the Sky are pretty good. So it's a really steep cost. And then this one, the icon is cool, but you got a tier 3 Black Widow. It's not a cheap, it's not a cheap buy. So that's kind of my issue with this legendary battle. Also, not everyone is going to be impressed or super hype about a CTP of Insight. This is primarily, almost exclusively for PvP. Now, if you like Timeline Battle or Alliance Tournament or Alliance Conquest, then yeah, sure. If you're heavy into ABX or Squad Battle, yeah, definitely. That is a bit more of a niche crowd that I just mentioned there, despite mentioning multiple game modes. Because all those game modes have one thing in common, except for Squad Battle: terrible rewards. So yeah, I don't think many players are going to be gassed to spend 2,500 crystals to get a CTP of Insight. But if you are, it's a great deal, because Taskmaster's uniform is amazing anyways. So like I said, the legendary battle itself has great rewards for the value for what you're investing in. It's very equal, but I just don't think a lot of players are going to be hyped for that when you see the other CTPs that you could get in the other legendary battles. So that's why it's number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have Infinity War. The main problem here with Infinity War, the rewards are not very good. That's the first problem with the legendary battle for 2,500 crystals. And then the second problem is that all of these uniforms have been replaced. So this is a really big ask. If you're going to be purchasing old uniforms that you no longer use, that have already been, you know, erased and eclipsed, besides the Proxima and Corvus ones, and the Winter Soldier one for now. So there's 3 uniforms here that haven't been eclipsed, right? In the case of Thor Ragnarok, it's okay because you're getting a premium card, right? You're getting some sick rewards here. Not only that, but it's a free legendary battle. This one you have to pay, and then you have to buy an obsolete uniform. And then you're not even getting, I mean, you're getting what? A 6-star ISO? You got to be dreaming. I don't want that. What are you getting? A CTP of Refinement? I don't care. So the rewards here are just not worth it. It's not a bad legendary battle. The rewards are just not worth it. It's just a little bit better than Black Widow. You know what? I'd actually put this one, I actually bumped this one down and put Black Widow at 6 and put this one at 7, to be honest. Moving on to number 5, we have Captain Marvel from the Captain Marvel movie. Now, this one was a lot worse before, until recently when they changed the difficulty of the challenges. So now, instead of having to get type 6 or stage 6 type enhancement for Captain Marvel, you only have to get stage 3. Now, I only put this one at number 5, although it guarantees you a CTP, and almost all of the required uniforms and characters are free to play friendly, except for Nick Fury. You know, Minerva and Korath are both free. So a lot of these rewards are very easily obtainable by free to play players. The only problem with this one is just that it's a CTP of regen. You know, most players, the majority of players, at least 51% of players, are PvE oriented. So if this was a CTP of rage or a CTP, even a CTP of energy, I think more players would be hype for this, and this might be a little bit higher on the list. But the way that it is now, this is just a better version of something like Infinity War, where these uniforms and characters have not been eclipsed, they've not been replaced or made obsolete, but there's just not quite enough value here to make you want to snap this up and buy this ASAP, unless you're big into PvP. If you're big into PvP, then this might be the second best legendary battle for you, or the third best one. But with that being said, let's move on to the top 3. Coming in at number 4, Ant-Man and the Wasp legendary battle. Now, the problem with this legendary battle is that you have 2, not 1, but 2 paywall characters. You've got Ghost. So basically, if you don't buy Ghost, you're not going to get any of those rewards. So you say goodbye to 2 million gold, say goodbye to the Norn Stone Selector, which is a joke reward. And then if you don't buy Nadia Van Dyne, you say goodbye to another 2 million gold. Both of those characters are kind of crappy. Ghost is okay for the leadership and the passive, the 20% passive, but yeah, you're just not gonna get many rewards, right? You're buying this for 2,500 crystals, but you're not getting that many rewards. However, the reward that you do get, oh boy, the CTP selector, the best item in the game. Now, it doesn't have insight, judgment, and what's the last one? Judgment, insight, and greed. But it does have basically the best CTP in the game, CTP of Rage. So a lot of people will buy this one. They'll snap it up for 2,500 crystals. They'll get their 500 crystal refund. They'll put those 500 crystals into buying the Giant Man Pimptron uniform. And then they turn around and get a CTP selector to get a CTP of Rage. This is one of the easiest ways. I think this might be the easiest way after you see what's next. But this is one of the easiest ways to get a CTP of Rage and one of the cheapest ways to get a CTP of Rage. So that's why a lot of people like it. And it's a good legendary battle. It's just that it doesn't have a lot of other good rewards besides that. So, coming in at number 3. So basically, because we already talked about Thor Ragnarok, this is technically the second best legendary battle to purchase for crystals. We have Avengers Endgame. Now, Avengers Endgame was, again, way more expensive, like Captain Marvel, and way worse before they changed and updated the rewards and how they're structured. So now you only have to get these uniforms to Heroic instead of Mythic. So it's way better. So you get good rewards. Most of these uniforms have not been replaced. I mean, if you're not using Hydra Cap, you can still use Endgame Cap. Nebula's still good. Rocket's still good. War Machine's still good. Ant-Man's still good. Iron Man and Hulk are still good. So all of these are still usable uniforms, even Thanos, of course, and Hawkeye. But there's the biggie right there. That's why you buy this legendary battle. Stage 3 instead of stage 6 for Thanos. Still expensive, still difficult, still gotta grind for it, but it's not impossible anymore. You're not gonna need blind luck or thousands of dollars to get this, and you'll guarantee yourself a CTP of Rage. So this one is very, very nice. Coming in at number 3, technically the second best one in the game to purchase for crystals, we have... Oh no, wait, we're at the end. I made a mistake. This is the number 1. You know what it is already. Spider-Man Far From Home. This is the best legendary battle to pick up for 2,500 crystals. The reason why it's the best, basically the characters. They're both free to play. The main characters that you obtain rewards via ranking up and building are Mysterio and Spider-Man and Sandman. So they're all free to play except for Spider-Man 2099. But everything else you can obtain completely free to play. They give you a 6-star Mysterio for joining this legendary battle, so you're already halfway there. And on top of that, you only have to get Spider-Man to type 3 enhancement, which is half as expensive as Thanos, so it's super cheap. And you get the best item in the game. You get a CTP selector. So this by far, now that it's stage 3 instead of stage 6, this far outweighs the value of the Giant Man Pimptron uniform, because you don't have to spend any crystals. Getting Spider-Man to stage 3 is not that hard. Maybe like a week of playing Giant Boss Raid will get you there. You don't even have to play Galactus. You can play Master Mold on the days where it is the speed enhancement, and then you'll get a CTP selector. So this is the easiest and fastest route to a CTP of Rage. It's basically a CTP of Rage for 2,000 crystals and a few hundred energy. Imagine that. And you don't even have to build up your Spider-Man if you don't want to. You can just get him to stage 3. I believe you have to unlock his potential. I lied. Okay, so you do need to get him to tier 2. Yeah, you have to tier 2 your Spider-Man. He is half cost. Okay, I thought he doesn't have to be built, but no. Yeah, you got to unlock his potential. You don't have to get him to level 70, but you have to unlock his potential in order to do the type enhancements. So you have to at least get him to tier 2 and then do that. But that's not a very expensive price to pay for the rewards. So with that being said, let me know what you think of my ranking from Thor Ragnarok number 1 all the way down to Black Panther. We made a little bit of a change up. So we go Black Panther, Infinity War, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Endgame, Far From Home, Ragnarok. Hit me up in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.